let's start.
Number 1, when is the last time you had a pain in your stomach?
I had a pain in my stomach about several months ago when after drinking yogurt that was 2 or 3 weeks old. I think it was safe because it was in a fridge and in a pack. It was packed, but in fact it turned out it caused me a pain in my stomach.
Number 2, how often do you have headaches?
I have a headache every day unless I drink a cup of coffee.
Number 3, what is the reason people can have problems with their breathing?
People can have problems with their breathing if they have maybe some allergy and they caught a cold or they get the flu and it is hard for them to breathe because they have a cough and they are constantly sneezing.
Number 4, what makes you feel dizzy?
Okay, when I have I catch cold, it feels me dizzy, and for example, I feel dizzy when my blood pressure becomes low or it drops. My blood pressure drops.
Number 5, what makes you feel sick?
Um, okay. If I have eaten maybe something, for example, mushrooms, uh, and then I can, or yogurt that is 2 weeks old, I can feel sick.
Number 6, why is getting sick in the winter easier than getting sick in the summer?
I don't think that is getting sick in the winter easier than getting sick in the summer. I don't agree with this statement, but maybe because when you are, when you get sick, you are hot, and it is hot outside, so it is difficult to breathe, and it's you need some fresh air, and there isn't any. And when it is cold, you may open your windows and it is easy to breathe, but so we have our summer is so not so hot. I should say that it is to get sick in summer or in winter. It's the same in my region.
Number 7, when was the last time you didn't feel well?
I didn't feel well when I didn't. I didn't feel well uh, when there was an epidemic, something like that, in the city and at schools, and people just my colleagues get the flu and something uh, dangerous, and so all my family get the flu too, and I was feeling myself really bad at that moment.
Number 8, what do you do to prevent from falling ill?
I can take some pills, for example, vitamins, to prevent from falling ill.
Number 9, how do you not catch a cold?
You should, if it is cold outside, you should make sure you put on warm clothes, and don't forget about vitamins and doing exercises every day.
Number 10, what does getting the flu feel like?
So when you you are getting the flu, you just have a bad headache, and your muscles, you have a weak in your body, and your muscles hurt you, and you have a very high temperature.
Number 11. What do you use when you have a runny nose?
When I have a runny nose, I should prefer to go to the doctor, and he prescribes me a medicine, and I buy it at a drugstore, and then I take it.
Number 12. Do you know anyone that has had a heart attack or a stroke?
Yes, I know some people who had a heart attack or a stroke. I saw them on TV, or some of my relatives have these diseases, and one of them even died of a stroke.
Number 13. Why do some people have panic attacks on airplanes?
Some people have panic attacks on airplanes because they are afraid, they have fear to fall.
Number 14. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear, or maybe I don't know what is my biggest fear. One novelist, I said it is Dina Rubina. Dina Rubina said in one of her books that please don't afraid of anything or anybody. Don't be afraid of anything, and don't be jealous, and you'll be happy during all your life.
Number 15. Would you rather have a cough or a rash?
To tell you the truth, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have either a cough or a rash. I don't prefer neither rash. I prefer neither rash nor a rash.
Number 16. What are the risks associated with high blood pressure?
So the risks associated with the blood pressure are heart attack and stroke and heart diseases. So they are very dangerous for people, and they even may cause people's death.
Number 17. What activities cause one to have a callus?
So if you have maybe shoes that are new, and maybe they are smart, but pretty, but not convenient to you, and they may cause you a callus.
Number 18. What causes someone to have a dental filling?
So cavity and tooth decay causes someone to have a dental filling.
Number 19. Why do some people have cavities?
Some people have cavities because they eat a lot of sugar, and they maybe don't brush their teeth every day.
20. What causes more pain, shots or dental fillings?
Of course, I think that yes, shot and dental fillings causes lots of pain, but if you have a dental filling without a shot, it will be much more harder to suffer, to have it, to bear it, and your suffering will be very great because it will continue for some time, and short it's very quickly. This pain is very quick.
21. What do you do if you have a fever?
If I have a fever, I should stay in my bed and drink more liquid.
Number 22. Would you rather be shivering or sweating?
I wouldn't. I would rather neither be shivering nor sweating.
Number 23. What is a common side effect to a medicine for a cold?
A side effect of a medicine or for a cold may be another pain or another you just cure one something you cure your nose or your head or something like that, and you destroy the other organs of your body.
Number 24. How often do you make an appointment to see the dentist?
Not very often. When I have a toothache, then I try to go as quickly as I can go to a dentist.
Number 25. Why do you see a doctor?
I see a doctor when I need if I am ill and I need treatment.
Number 26. When does the doctor need to test your blood?
Doctors need to test my blood because they can easily diagnose. I can be diagnosed, and doctors can see what to find out what is the what is why I have these health problems. So it's easy to find out what is causing the disease.
Number 27. When does the doctor need to check your lungs?
Doctor needs to check my lungs if I have a cough, for example.
Number 28. What is the purpose of examining somebody?
So purpose of examining somebody is to get him or her diagnosed and to know what was the what is causing the problems, what is causing the illness.
Number 29. What is the most effective test to be diagnosed from? Number 30.
The most effective test I was diagnosed from was blood test.
Do you wait to go to the hospital until it's a question of life or death, or do you go before it gets that bad?
Okay, I try to go to the hospital before it gets too bad. But sometimes it turns out that I came when it's just I don't like to go to the doctors very often, and I don't go straight after I have a pain, and sometimes it may be too late. For example, I lost several teeth because I didn't go to the dentist when I have a toothache.
Number 31. What can relieve the pain of a headache?
The pain or a headache can relieve a painkiller.
Number 32. What time of the year is a flu epidemic likely to occur?
The flu epidemic is likely to occur in cold seasons, in autumn or in winter, or even in the early spring.
Number 33. What is one way to spread germs?
One way is to spread germs when a person is ill. he caught a cold or got the flu, and he associated with the other people, and he didn't stay at home and go to work, because sometimes he had to earn money for the family.
Number 34. How do people get food poisoning?
People get food poisoning when they eat food that is not fresh, and that sometimes they pick something in the forest and eat it. They think that these mushrooms or berries are safe, but in fact they are not good for eating. So people have poisoning, food poisoning.
Number 35. Why is it important to be healthy?
It is important to be healthy because when you are healthy and strong and you are relaxed and you are happy, because there's no pain in your body, everything is great, and your family, you are happy and your family is happy too, and your family is relaxed because mom is relaxed.
Number 36. What are the benefits of cutting down on sugar?
The benefits of cutting down of sugar are great. Some scientists say we had to cut down on sugar intake because sugar is causing lots of disease, and to eat sugar is dangerous for some people who have diabetes, and for small children too.
Number 37. Why do doctors tell patients to give up smoking?
Doctors tell patients to give up smoking because they may have big problems with their lungs, and even smoking is on the first place of that causes cancer, lung cancer.
Number 38. What type of medicine can you buy without a prescription?
I can buy without a prescription some vitamins and take or painkillers and what else? That's all.
Number 39. What type of drug can you buy over the counter?
I can buy over the counter some antibiotics. Yes.
Number 40. How do doctors prescribe a drug?
First, they when you have when you feel not well, when you are feeling when you don't feel well, you go to the doctor, you visit your doctor, your therapist, and he asks you questions about your state, and you describes what is happening to you, and then he, after assessing that, he begins to examine you, and then he took temperature, and he measures pressure, blood pressure, and so he put a you get a diagnosis, and then he decide how to cure you, how to treat you, and he prescribes you some medicine after that. That will help you to be to recover and to reduce your symptoms and reveal your state, you reveal your pain.
Number 41. Who gives you a prescription?
A doctor, a trained specialist only can make a prescription, can give me a prescription.
Number 42. Why is it important to work out on a regular basis?
It is important to work out on a regular basis because when you are healthy, and you are healthy when you are active, so you should do a lot of exercises to stay healthy and to stay fit.
Number 43. What type of people stay the most physically active?
What type of people stay the most physically active? Type of people, people who think about their future. They try to go and see doctors on a regular checkup, and they think about themselves and about their children and families, because they know if they are in good condition and they are healthy, they can take responsibility for them and for himself too, of course too. So he or she, this type of people usually stay the most physically active.
Number 44. Are you on a diet or do you eat whatever you want?
I am not on a diet. I eat whatever I want.
Number 45. Is it important to you to be fit? Why or why not?
Yes, it is very important to be fit, because when you are fit, you are happy and you want to live and you want to do something and to develop yourself.
Number 46. How often do you exercise?
I exercise. I do yoga 2 times a week.
Number 47. Why were you last hospitalized?
I was hospitalized 3 years ago, not 2 years ago, when I had a baby.
Number 48. Why would someone need to call an ambulance?
Yes, when you have a very high temperature and you get the flu and you don't feel very well, you don't feel well because of that high temperature and the headache, you need to call an ambulance. It's an emergency case.
Number 49. How many times do you get vaccinated against the flu?
I never got vaccinated against the flu.
Number 50. What soothes the pain of a headache?
The pain or the headache soothes the a painkiller soothes the pain or a headache.
Number 51. Who gives you a shot?
A nurse gives me a shot.
Number 52. Who administers a drug?
A doctor administers a drug.
Number 53. What location on the body does a nurse start an IV?
A nurse starts an IV on an arm.
Number 54. What type of injury do you need to put a Band-Aid on?
I need to put on a band-aid on when I have maybe a swollen foot, or what have I cut my finger, for example, or cut my arm with a knife, something like that.
Number 55. How long does it take to be discharged from the hospital after having a baby?
So nowadays it takes 3 days to be discharged from the hospital after having a baby.
Number 56. Do you have any assistance to pay medical bills?
I don't understand. Assistance to pay medical bills. No assistance. No, I don't have any assistance to pay my medical bills.
Number 57. What types of injuries require an X-ray exam?
X-ray exam, when a woman is pregnant, she often has an X-ray exam, and when your organs in your stomach and your belly, your stomach or your organs in the belly just hurt, so you may have an X-ray to see what is happening and why you experience this pain.
Number 58. What type of injuries require an MRI?
In MRI, you may have a headache. For example, a headache that is very often happens to you, and so you may have an MRI on your head, or an MRI. It is just like X-ray. Doctors see what is inside your body, and so they may you may be diagnosed very quickly after this test.
Number 59. How often do you have a checkup?
A checkup. I have a checkup when I worked at a bank. I have a checkup because they need to check people's health. So I have this free checkup.
Number 60. Why is it important to have health insurance?
It's important to have a health insurance because if you don't have any, you have to pay your medical bill on yourself. And if you have this health insurance, you don't need to pay money for checking up and for visiting your doctor and for all the tests that you can have there. You can have in the hospital.
61. How long does it take to recover from a broken leg?
Or it takes no less than a month to recover from a broken leg.
Number 62. Do you know anyone who has had a remission from cancer?
Yes, I heard about this. Yes, I know a lot of women who has cancer, and I know some women and men people who recovered who recovered from a cancer or who had remission from this disease.
Number 63. What makes you get better quicker?
Maybe get better quicker. Just staying in bed and don't doing nothing, and just relaxing and having a rest get better quicker.
Number 64. Why do people send get well cards?
People send get well cards because they want people who is ill or who don't feel not well to feel that they are remembered by other people, and that the people appreciate them and think about them and want them to be happy and healthy.